Well, find a comfortable position of your choosing. Love your pants, Yvonne. Awesome. Looks super comfy. And then just gently roll the shoulders a couple of times. And if you want, you can also roll your neck. And when you feel ready, just gently closing the eyes, turning the gaze inward, and starting to notice your breath going in and out. And for now, there's no reason to change anything. We're just exploring, locating where our breath is at. Just trying to see whether it's shallow or deep, short or long, and where we can feel the breath going in and out, and where we notice an expansion of the inhale and contraction of the exhale. Noticing any thoughts or feelings that arise now that we're exploring the body. As I'm gonna gently guide you guys through the body, scanning every part from head to toe. First, we start with feeling the top of our head. Maybe you can even feel your hair. With every part that we're going to notice and we're going to scan through, try to relax as much as you can. As we walk down to the forehead, the temples, the eyebrows, and the skin in between the eyes, your eye sockets and your eyes, your cheeks, your mouth, your jaw, your ears, your lips, and your tongue in your mouth. Let it all relax. We scan further down to the chin, your throat, the neck, the shoulders, the upper arms, the elbows, the lower arms, the wrist, the hands, and the fingers. Noticing our thumb, our, I'm going to say pointer finger again, it's not right, I know. The middle finger, the ring finger, pinky. As we scan further with the collarbones, your clavicles, your chest and your breast, the middle and your ribs, your belly and your lower belly. So we scan more of the back, the upper back, the middle, the lower back, and all the way down to the tip of our tail, where we notice our pelvic area, our hips, our upper legs, our knees, our lower legs, our ankles, our feet, and our toes. The big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and the fifth toe. And now we've scanned the entire body. And maybe you notice some areas of tightness, some areas of discomfort, but also the areas of comfort. Feeling grateful for your body as is. Now I want to encourage you to start deepening your breath. And every inhale a little deeper, and every exhale a little bit longer. Noticing how the deeper breath also connects to your thoughts and to your feelings, and slows down your brain and relaxes your body. And if you notice that any areas in your body are asking for a little bit extra, you're asking for a little bit of attention because you feel some tightness or some muscles are tense there, just try to sit with that feeling, breathing towards that area and calming it with your attention. Not necessarily trying to change it, just giving the attention that it needs. And as you keep your focus on your breath and the parts of your body that need that attention, I'm going to sound the bell 3 times. As you hear the bell die out, gently bring your hands to whatever area needs a little bit of attention and gently massage that body part. When you feel ready, gently opening the eyes. Awesome. Now we're gonna move into our first position, which is gonna be a child's pose position. Big shocker on that one. Okay, so please come onto your knees and sit down on your heels. And I'm going to give you 2 options, either keeping the knees together if you want to get your thoughts and all that a little bit more inside, but if you want to stretch out your lower back a little more, you can also decide to open the knees up about mat width apart. So if you keep the knees closed, just flick the hands back, and on the exhale, come forward to place your forehead on the floor, but keeping the bum as close to your heels as you can. If you want to keep the knees wide, then I encourage you to place the hands in front of you. And as you exhale, bringing either the chin or the forehead to the floor. Yeah, that's what I figured. Selena, you can also come onto your back. And hug the knees into the chest so that you stay off your knees. And when you find your position, just noticing where your breath is at. And see how it feels to be in that specific position. What is it you feel? Where is the air going? As you inhale towards your belly, is the air maybe restricted by your knees or your upper legs? And if so, then what happens to the air? Where does it go? Or if you're in a more wide-legged position, how does it feel to expand that belly in between your upper legs? Can you feel your belly expand towards your upper legs? And is there any pressure coming from your upper legs going to your belly? As you inhale, can you feel a wave going through your body? And where can you actually feel that wave? As you exhale, can you feel the body relax into the floor? And what are the sensations in your lower back? Can you feel it opening up? And listening to your own breath, what kind of thoughts come up? Is your head busy today? Or is it more relaxed? And if it helps you today, try to make a little bit of an ocean breath sound, restricting the airflow in the back of your throat. Still breathing in and out through your nose if you can. And just like when we were seated, try and see if you can deepen on the inhale and extend on the exhale. So deepening the breath toward your belly on the inhale and making that exhale nice and long. On the next inhale, use your hands to pull yourself forward to a tabletop position. And gently readjust in this position. On the next exhale, letting your hips sink forward, Coming all the way down onto the mat. Bringing the elbows underneath your shoulders. Placing the forearms and the palms of your hands on the floor and zipping up through the legs to protect your lower back. Keeping the legs together. Is this okay, Selena? Good. And then see if you can take your shoulders away from your ears. So try to look in front of you. And if that's hard, you can also come onto your elbows and hold your head like this. Like you're just sort of watching TV maybe, I'm not sure. To support your head. As you breathe in and out, feel what happens. Feeling the expansion of the belly onto the floor. And noticing how that lifts the body off the floor. Well, not off the floor, but how it sort of lifts the body. And as you exhale, noticing how the body sinks into the mat. Relaxing every part that you don't need. The way we place our elbows and we come into the pose. It is sort of more of a skeletal thing, so our skeleton keeps us up. And we don't really need to use our muscles. So see which muscles you can let go of, which you can relax. And try and see if you can relax them on the exhale. While you gently move your attention towards your lower back area. Noticing the effects of the inhale and the exhale on your lower back. How does it feel? How would you describe it to somebody else? No reason to judge it. We're just connecting to it, just exploring the sensations there. Again, if it helps, making a little bit of an ocean breath, or using the little mantra of thinking in as you inhale and out as you exhale. Just trying to connect the mind to the breath, as the breath helps you to connect to your body. And if today it's hard to be still, or there are a lot of thoughts running around, that's okay. Just see what they're about. Just see what kind of emotions are linked to them. And notice how they can be there without you having to engage in them. That's not always going to be easy, but it's doable. As we try to link back with our breath, noticing the inhale and the exhale. Using the next inhale to come up a little higher. And on the exhale, lowering down, bringing the hands on top of one another and placing our forehead onto our hands. As we breathe here in this counter pose for a couple of breath cycles, noticing the relaxation of the lower back and letting the heels fall out towards the side of the mat while the toes stay together. Maybe you notice a flush of energy, a flush of the constriction we just had, and how it's helping us to flush out all the things we don't need anymore in our body. Maybe you experience a little warmth, a little tingling, and all are good. Using the next inhale to place your hands underneath your shoulders and push yourself up towards a tabletop position. As we extend our right leg out, rolling over the toes. See how that works for you, Selena. I'm not sure which knee it was, so. And when you're ready, bringing that right knee forward to come to your left hand, your left wrist, and then opening it up so that you turn it towards the right wrist. So you bring your shin about parallel with the front of your mat, and if that's too much, you bring your heel in a little bit closer to your left upper leg. Extending that left knee back. And if for today, for whatever reason, this might be a little too much, or you need a little support, placing a pillow so that the hips can stay level with the floor and the hips stay squared with the front of your mat. Giving yourself all the support that you need and not overdoing it. If you feel any pain in your knees, I want you to get out or make this pose easier. And then I don't mean scalp pain, I mean actual joint pain. And then just find your breath again. See and connect to your lower back. As we're still in this upright position, you notice that the lower back gets a little bit of that action we just did with the sphinx, with the sphinx as well. That hollowing of the back. And you notice that the arms and the whole skeleton again doesn't need a whole lot of muscle tension. It's basically just the structure keeping you up. Connecting to the breath and feeling that expansion of the belly also maybe in your skin as it stretches your entire belly area. As we do a couple more breath cycles in this upright position. And then using the next exhale to come on to our forearms first. Staying here for a couple of breath cycles before we move on to a fully reclined position if that is in your range of possibilities. Noticing how the expansion and the contraction of your breath is so different in this position as it was to the previous one. And see for today what your body is telling you. How did the areas of tightness change from the previous pose to this one? Maybe you become more aware of your bum or the muscle running from your bum to your knee, how that's stretching. And remembering to keep an awareness in that right foot, so keep it a little flexed. It's not a completely, how do you say that, inactive position. As we want to protect the knee. And again, if we feel any discomfort in the knee, we have to change our position. Using the next exhale to walk the hands even further forward if you want to, and placing the head, your forehead on the floor. And it could be that the pillow that you were just using might be too much right now, so maybe make it a little lower or take it away. As we want to keep the hips about square with the mat. And if this is not for you today, then that's fine too. Just stay in one of the previous poses that was more for you today. And please, please, please don't go beyond your 80% and don't overdo it. As you are the only one who's going to enjoy that. And connecting to your breath. Noticing any emotions that arise. And maybe you can feel your belly expand on your foot right now or on your shin. Noticing there are 2 points in which we can feel that. First, starting to feel it from the belly. How does it feel to have your belly restricted in the movement like that? And then more from a point of your foot, how does it feel to have the pressure of the belly on your foot? Taking a couple more breaths in this position if you can, and if you need to come out, please come out. And in this extended position, rolling on to your left side. Yeah, we're doing a different transition today. Just roll over to your left side, if you can. And coming onto your back. As you're still on the right side of your mat, extending the arms overhead and the feet out, and then moving our feet towards the left side of the mat. And also moving our hands towards the left side of the mat, coming into a banana pose on this side. You might still feel some of the effects of the previous pose. Noticing that this is a little different now than when we normally do banana pose. Shaking it up a little. As we come back to our breath and noticing the extension on the right side of our body and the compression on the left side. If you feel comfortable enough, closing the eyes and turning the gaze inward. Noticing all the sensations in the body. And as I encourage you to explore the feelings in your hip joints. Noticing the stretch on the right hip joint, maybe some compression in the left hip joint. How does that feel? How would you describe it? So we gently use the next inhale to bring our hands back and to bring our feet back to the right side of the mat. And just take a couple of breath cycles to feel how that feels, to feel that transition. Maybe feeling the body being flushed, noticing some tingling or just energy moving, some warmth or just cold. As we gently inch our way over to the left side completely. Coming all the way over to the left side of our mat, hands still extended above our head, feet extended away from the body. As we use the exhale to bring our hands over to the right side of the mat, and then we do the same thing with our feet. Coming into the banana pose on the other side. Awesome. Noticing the stretch. And for me, I noticed that my skin is talking to me today. See if you can also feel what your skin is trying to tell you. Maybe it's a little tighter. Maybe it's seeing a little more sun. Or maybe you have more of a connection with your intestine today. Noticing the stretch on the left side and the compression on the right side. You should try to breathe in and out through your nose to your lower belly. And if you can, I encourage you once more to become aware of your hip joints, feeling the difference between the left and the right hip joint. And while you're doing that, maybe you also notice how this pose feels a little different on this side as it did to the other side. Maybe you don't. Either way is fine. We're just exploring. See if you can focus on letting the body relax into the floor on the exhale. And even though this pose seems so simple, it might not be that easy to relax into the floor. Don't judge yourself on that. It's more of a given, it's more of an effect of this pose. Using the next inhale to inch your hands and feet back to the left side of the mat. And again, feeling the after effects of doing this pose. Maybe now you notice how the body is balanced out due to doing this pose on both sides. Try to do 3 really deep breaths towards the belly. You maybe start to notice that the rest and digest is setting in. Your belly starts to rumble or to digest. With our arms still extended, rolling over to your right side, coming onto your belly. And using the inhale to place your hands underneath your shoulders and coming into a tabletop position. As we extend that left foot and roll over the toes back and forth just a couple times. In your next inhale, bringing the knee towards the right wrist and then opening up towards the left wrist. As we sit back, trying to bring our lower leg parallel with the front of the mat. That's the aim, but definitely not what needs to happen. So if that's too much on your knee or too much in general, just bring your heel closer to your right upper leg and try to see if you can get the hips pointing forward, so parallel to the front of your mat, but also parallel to the floor, so level. Remaining or keeping a little awareness in that right foot. As we focus our attention back onto our breath. Noticing what the lower back is telling us in this position. And remembering that we don't want to feel any discomfort in our knee, in our left knee, that is. Is this okay, Selena, or is it? Yeah, okay. Maybe you notice some tension in the shoulders. Try to take the shoulders away from the ears. If you need, you can roll the shoulders a couple times. And noticing how the belly expands and contracts. Using the next exhale to come onto our forearms. And this is where I have to stop today, but I'm going to talk you through it, so don't look at me anymore. Just keep breathing. Noticing how the shift in position also creates a shift in the awareness in your body. Right now, you're probably starting to feel that muscle running from your butt to your knee, getting a little bit of a stretch. Maybe you notice that the lower back is able to relax more. And maybe you can already feel the belly expanding onto your heel or onto your lower leg. Is it too much today, Vida? Using the next exhale to walk your hands even further forward and bringing your forehead to the floor. Maybe you notice here that you need to get rid of the pillow that you might have been using. You notice that That muscle running from your butt to your knee is getting stretched even more. As you keep breathing, using your body using your breath to relax your body. And using that breath to connect with your body and to trap your mind. You can use a little mantra saying in and out. Using the next inhale to bring your hands underneath your shoulders. And coming into a tabletop position by extending that left leg backward. Just feeling it out here. Maybe sway a little left to right. And if you want, you can use the inhale to come into a cow position and the exhale to come into a cat position, rounding the back, looking toward your belly, rounding the upper back. Inhale, looking forward, lowering the belly, hollowing the back. And see what you need today. If you need a little bit more of a circle with your hips, you can also do that. You get a couple of minutes to freestyle. Take advantage. Great. Okay. Curling the toes under. If you have a couple of books close by, or you can double up on your mat, you're going to come into a yogic squat. So what I want you to do is just first push yourself back onto your feet. Then bringing your feet about hip width apart, pointing the toes out as you come to sit down in your yogic squat, pressing the upper arms up against the knees and the knees back at the upper arms. Making sure that you keep your back straight. Noticing how you put your weight onto your heels. As we're giving Selena a little bit of extra time, if you feel like you need to come out, then just come out. No, it's okay. It's okay. Using the next inhale to bring your arms back and using the exhale to sit down. Awesome. Bringing the soles of the feet together. We come into a butterfly position. Inhaling, extending the back, and exhaling, coming forward from the hip area. Using the inhale to feel a little bit of length in your back, and then exhaling, rounding the back and bringing the crown of the head towards your feet. As you keep breathing in and out here. If you notice that today it's hard to let go of the muscles in your groin area, and just support your knees with some pillows so that your entire body can relax. And we just let gravity do its work. listening to the sound of your own breath going in and coming out, becoming aware of your legs and your feet touching the floor, your bum on the floor, and the stretching of your lower back. Trying to find the areas of tightness and breathing towards that area. Inhaling, creating space, and exhaling, letting go. And right now, I want to encourage you to check in with your jaw and see if your jaw and your tongue and your mouth are actually relaxed or whether you're tensing there. And if you're tensing, try to let go of the tension. Letting the jaw relax, and letting the tongue just sort of be comfortably in the mouth. Relaxing the ears. And if there are any other points of tightness in your head, crown of your head, your eyes, your eyebrows, your temples, just try to gently let go. And as your jaw and your pelvic region are linked, see if you can shuttle between the two and relax both of them. They have a tendency to tense up one at a time, so try and see if by shuttling back and forth you can both let them go. Using the next inhale to calm out vertebrae by vertebrae. Real gentle. Actually really feeling every vertebrae extend. Noticing how the blood rushes back to your heart. Maybe noticing some lightheadedness. It's perfectly fine. Using the hands to bring your knees back together. And keeping the pillows close by, or grabbing some pillows if you didn't have the pillows. As we roll onto our back, just grabbing the hands on the creases of your knees and rolling onto your back. Remember to keep your back really round so you can actually do that without slapping your lower back onto the floor or maybe anywhere else. And when you feel ready, just coming onto your back all the way, keeping the knees bent and placing one pillow left to you, the other pillow in between your knees. We're going to do a fully supported twist to relax as we're going to hold them for a little bit longer. Extending the arms alongside in a T shape and letting the knees drop towards the left side on the exhale. Maybe scooting over just a hair to your right side with your hips. And maybe you think I'm not noticing as much. Don't worry about that. This is all about the relaxation. You don't need to feel too much. Just trust that the body is doing its job. And it's doing exactly what you need right now. Noticing how the shoulders relax into the floor. Noticing how the entire body sinks into the floor. And I encourage you to get contact with your belly, with your intestine. And see if you can feel them just as much as is appropriate to you. Keeping both the shoulders on the floor and looking into your right hand if you can. So that the twist is completed from the crown of your head all the way down to the lowest vertebrae. Noticing how your belly starts talking to you, maybe some rumbling or the digestive feelings or sounds. As you listen to the sound of your belly and the sound of your breath going in and out. Feeling your body relaxing to the floor. Noticing all the points of contact. Your arms, your shoulders, your upper back, your left hip, your left knee onto the pillow. Noticing the pillow in between your legs. Noticing your feet on the floor. And deepening our last couple of breaths in this position. Using your left hand and your next inhale to bring your knees up towards the ceiling. As we scoot our bum a little bit to the left side. And we place our pillow onto the right side. Getting our hands back or our arms back into a T-shaped position. And letting our knees drop to the right side on the exhale. Looking into our left hand to complete the full twist. As we start to breathe. Closing our eyes to internalize and Turn our gaze inward. Noticing the difference between the left and the right side. As we can try to focus on letting the body relax into the floor. As we listen to the sound of our breath going in and out. Again, noticing all the body parts that are touching the floor. Our arms, back of our hands, our shoulders, our upper back, our right hip this time, our right knee on the pillow, our feet on the floor, and a pillow in between our legs. Also noticing the back of the head on the floor. Noticing how every exhale helps us to release everything into the floor. Noticing any sensations that come up. Tremble, warmth, tingling. The twists help our body to detoxify, to get rid of the things we don't need anymore. Maybe you start to notice a little warmth. As we deepen our last 3 breaths, creating a little sound on the exhale. Using our right hand and the inhale to bring our knees back up. And for today, I want to encourage you to place either a rolled little blanket or maybe a pillow underneath your lower back as you come into a Shavasana. Rolled towel works really well as well, so see what you have today. And then extending the legs out, bringing your arms alongside in a 45-degree angle away. And if the pillow is too high, which I'm seeing for some of you, just, I don't know, get something smaller, I guess. Make sure it's, it's comfortable. We're relaxing into the floor. As you start to notice your breath, and breathe deeply into your lower back. Blanket works really well as well, Yvonne. I'm not sure you got a blanket, but other things are usually too high. Noticing all the body parts that are currently touching the floor. And noticing how all of that becomes more and more as you relax into the floor. Using each and every exhale to sink into the floor. As you hear the bells die out, gently start to deepen your breath and bring a little movement back into your fingers and into your toes. Letting this movement grow, and then using the next inhale to extend the body fully, head to toe. Stretching out like you just woke up. Using the next exhale to hug your knees into your chest. And rolling a little left to right to massage the lower back. As you use the next exhale to roll on to your right side, coming into a fetal position, using your right arm to lay your head on as a pillow. Taking a couple of breaths here to wake up the body. And using the next inhale to push yourself up with your left hand, coming into a seated position. Again, reminding ourselves to relax our jaw, letting go of any tension. Bringing our hands together in Anjali Mudra, or prayer position, and palms facing one another. As we bring our thumbs towards our forehead, peaceful thoughts. Bringing our thumbs towards our lips, peaceful words. And bringing our thumbs towards our heart space, peaceful heart. As I gently bow my head and I whisper to you, Namaste.